Well, a daring independent film and a family drama are on area screens this weekend. Chuck and Pam are joining us now for Friday Flicks to talk about it. So, good morning, you two.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing well. I must ask to see your socks first off.
Is this going to be a weekly thing now?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, here we go.
All right, there it is, guys. Looking pretty nice. The theme this week is black and white, as movies are. Thank you guys for both being here this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you. So this first movie was really killing it in theaters. Am I right? Oh, come on.
Not financially, unfortunately.
Oh, yes.
Yes, definitely as a film, it kills it and kills it and kills it again. But unfortunately, not enough people are seeing this, and that's too bad because the message in Assassination Nation is vital right now. It takes place in a town called Salem, and that's no accident. It is similar to the witch trials because you see these 4 young teenage girls in high school, they end up being blamed for something they did not do, and the town sinks into hysteria, much like what happened 400 years ago in New England. Here's what's going on in Salem. Seems as though everyone's got secrets on the internet, and wouldn't you know it, some rascally teenager has decided he is going to expose everything that you have held dear and secret on the internet to the public. The first victim of this is the mayor of the town, a guy who runs on a family values platform who is then exposed to be homosexual. This, of course, sets off mass hysteria, especially after the mayor kills himself at a press conference and chaos begins to reign because the hacker thought that he had such an effect on things that he starts to release everyone in the town's information. And that leads to chaos, especially when our 4 young heroines are blamed for this. And before you know it, they are fighting for their lives. This movie's message is very, very potent because what these 4 young women say is that they have been mistreated by perceptions of what they should be like. They've been told that if they should just be themselves, just be honest with everyone, that people would accept them. They've all done that, and they've all been rejected in one way or another, so they now put on a fake persona of being young, sexual beings, of being more sophisticated than they are, and obviously they're not. They're really just children. And that's really a problem with this generation. What am I supposed to be, especially for a young woman? What is she supposed to be? How is she supposed to present herself in order to be true to herself, but also accepted by others? And the ultimate message here is that, well, the heck with others, just be yourself, but not before this becomes incredibly violent. Incredibly violent, because this town basically is burned to the ground. This is gory, it's violent, it's sexual, it is not for all tastes. I loved it.
Of course you do. Pam, what did you think about it?
You know, I agree with everything that Chuck said. It is not for...
Is that on record?
I know, it is on record.
Okay.
We now have a record of the fact that I agree with everything almost that you said. It's not for everyone, though. It definitely, it's harsh. In fact, in the very beginning, it gives a warning. Explicitness, offensive behavior. I mean, and it is truly offensive. But it's also very real in a lot of ways. And it really shows how parents really don't know what's going on with their kids these days. And there's so much exposure in it. And the internet really can be an evil entity if used improperly. I think it also really delves into psychology and mob mentality and morality and sticking up. Do you have the courage to stick up and do what's right? And that's just so pervasive right now. So a lot of good lessons can be learned, and, you know, putting on that mask and what's really happening. Who are you really? And what would you think if your phone and your computer was exposed to the world? You know, what secrets are you hiding? So I really liked the fact, I was surprised by this film. It was so much more than I anticipated. I thought it was just going to be all blood and guts, and there is plenty of that, but it has a lot more to it than I thought.
Yeah, I like the lessons you both mentioned, kind of figuring out who you are, especially being so young. It's difficult these days. Puns always work, though, I figure out. Speaking of life itself, it's a movie title. So what do we think about this one? A little less enthused.
Yeah, and again, my gosh, I think we need to play the lottery today, Chuck, because we agree on this one as well.
What?
Life itself really could be death itself. It could be a lot of other titles other than it is not much life in it whatsoever. It starts out strong. This is from Dan Fogelman, who gives us This Is Us, the television series that I guess everyone really loves.
They do. I do too. Like it.
We start off with Oscar Isaac and Olivia Wilde as a couple, and it shows shows how this young couple and what happens to them in their life and their death, I'm not giving anything away, this happens in the very beginning, and how that reverberates through generations to come as well as around the world. It starts off strong. We're really engaged and we really care about these two characters, and Olivia Wilde and Oscar Isaac are wonderful, engaging people. After their deaths, and again, not giving anything away because this is a story about death. We have chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, and by the time we hit chapter 5, I have already called it quits. It's too meandering, not enough character development, way too many characters, and I think maybe, since it is Dan Fogelman, maybe he was thinking this is more of a television series than it's fit for the silver screen. Should have stuck to one story, maybe two, but life itself died for me.
Chuck?
Look at you.
Can we get a zoom-in shot of his face, really?
Yeah, I threw up a little bit in my mouth as I was watching this. You know, I don't mind being moved by art. I mean, that's what art does. It's supposed to move us, whether it makes us angry, makes us laugh, makes us cry. But you don't use a sledgehammer. And that's what the problem with this movie is. Emotional responses in art should sneak up on you. But this movie, every scene is geared to make you cry. Okay? And that kind of obvious approach I hate because I find it insulting as a viewer. And that's how I felt throughout the entire thing. It was a long 2 hours.
Did you cry?
No. I was checking my messages on my phone.
I'm just checking, Chuck.
Well, I sit way in the back so I don't bother anyone.
Oh, I was going to say, where do you sit in the movie theater? That's actually a good question for you both, isn't it? In the back, where do you sit?
I sit center. I like the railing.
Same.
I like to put my feet up.
Oh, that's also accurate.
Yeah.
Very good. Very proper. I could see your heels being up on the rail there. And also, if you guys want to check out Chuck and Pam on social media, they have a great page, Real Talk. Anything going on right now?
We have some surprises coming up, so keep checking.
Oh, you guys go give their page a like. They have lots of fun posts, and you know they interact with you guys too. So let them know what your favorite movies are. Maybe we'll talk about them sometime.
That'd be great.
Yeah, that would be great. Well, I guess the Black Sox really match the theme for the last movie.
Yeah, 2 bad films.
Yes. Well,
we're in mourning.
We're in mourning. Well, thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Of course, you guys will be right back with more of The Morning Show.